Hi, and welcome to episode 10 of the Bay Area Knitter podcast. Can't believe it's already my 10th episode. It's going by pretty fast, isn't it? I'm glad to see you here. It's nice to have new and returning visitors. Today's August the 7th. It's Friday, the husband's birthday today. So he actually stayed home from work today. He's at the library with the kids right now. So I figured, what better time than this to get my episode squeezed in. It's been a really busy week, and I meant to get this recorded, not uploaded, but I meant to get it recorded earlier this week, but I've just been so busy. I finally finished the Manos del Uruguay pattern that I was working on, and I'm getting it off to the post office either today or tomorrow. I mailed her the pattern yesterday, so that was good. Got that out of the way. Our little mystery knit along is coming along, and it starts next weekend. I can't believe it. It's already here. August the 15th is the day that it starts. I'll be sending out Clue 1 to everyone that's paid. If you haven't joined yet or paid for the mystery knit along, it's only $3 until August the 15th. So if you want to join in, be sure to go to Ravelry and just not Google, but where the pattern search is, just type in Bay Area Knitter, just all one word, and you'll find it. It's $3 right now, but on August the 15th it will go up to $6, which will be the full price for any time after that. I'm still actually working on the shawl, so I'm still knitting it myself. But I do have Clue 1 and most of Clue 2 ready, so getting excited. Everybody's getting excited in the group. I love seeing all the yarn that you guys are sharing, the choices you've made and the colors. They're just beautiful. I'm really excited and looking forward to seeing all of the different variations to the shawl, once people start knitting it. My hair was messed up. But anyway, yeah, I'm just really looking forward to it. So bear with me. It's my first knit along that I've hosted, that I've ever run. So I'm learning too. So if you have questions, feel free to ask. Be sure you're part of my Bay Area Knitter group on Ravelry, and that's where everybody's chiming in and going to show all of their works and, shawls in progress. So that'll be exciting to see. So anyway, what else do I have on my agenda? We are going to have prizes. I meant to mention that for the knit along. So it's going to be a 4-week long knit along. Every week I'll release a new clue, and at the end of the knit along there will be a few prizes. I don't know how many yet, but I have had a couple of sponsors step up to offer prizes. So those of you that get your shawls finished by the end of the knit along period will have your name put in a drawing to win prizes. I'm donating a skein of Anzula, which is the yarn that I chose to use for the mystery knit along, and I'm going to be donating one haiku in the mauve colorway, and this is the exact same yarn that I'm using. I used this one along with the charcoal colorway. So this is the haiku. The lighting isn't that great in here right now, but I did move back to the kitchen just because it's brighter than it was when I did the episode in the living room. So anyway, this is the Anzula haiku, and one lucky winner will receive this at the end of the knit along. Another prize we have is being donated by my lovely friend Laurie. She's Just Keep Knitting on Instagram, and she has an Etsy shop where she makes her project bags and sells them. and they're adorable. I know I've shared the sheep bag that I got from her. Well, she was so sweet. She texted me and she asked if she could donate a prize for the knit along as well. And so she's made a special bag, and one lucky winner at the end of the knit along will receive this. Isn't that amazing? I love it. I want to keep it for myself. It says purl 2 together, purl 1, purl 2. Let's see. Oh, check gauge. Make sure you check that gauge, right? This is amazing, Laurie. Thank you so much. You're a sweetheart. Anyway, I'll put a link to her Etsy shop in the show notes if you want to go and check out her little shop. She's got so many beautiful bags. I wanted to show you the little, isn't that cute? The little touch she added. It says Knitting Queen on the zipper pull there. And I love that she added a little strap handle. And then on the inside, she's got the fabric that matches the little handle. Isn't that cute? She does amazing work. And it's got, you know, the bag, the bottom opens up. So, yay, it's beautiful. Thank you, Laurie. So, that's one prize. The Anzula's another prize. I did have another yarn company that has mentioned that they may be donating some yarn, but I don't want to mention who it is yet, just in case it falls through. I need to get back in touch with her and find out for sure how that's going to work out. And if there are any other donors out there that would like to contribute to the Knit Along prizes, just get in touch with me and let me know. I'll be happy to share your projects or your items on my podcast, and we'll see what happens. So anyway, I've got some other things I wanted to mention. I don't know if you guys got a chance to hear my interview on the Yarn Thing podcast with Marley Bird, but I did that recently, and I was so nervous at first. I'm just glad that it wasn't a video interview, because I was probably blushing. I mean, I got tongue-tied. I had a brain freeze. I couldn't even remember the year my son was born. So if you listen to it at the very beginning when she asked how I got started, and I was talking about how I started knitting right after my son was born, I meant to say the year. I meant to say, you know, and I was like, just like that. So funny. I mean, he was born in 2006, but I mean, I was like, so I started knitting right after my son was born in 2000, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I didn't know what to say, and all I could say was, I'm a little nervous. So embarrassing, and it was live. That's why. I mean, it was the hardest part about it was knowing that it was live. I mean, when I do my podcast, I can, you know, edit if I want to. I could stop and start again. I could just not post this. But her podcast is live. So anyway, I'll put link to that in the show notes as well, so you can have a laugh. But I think I got better as it went along, and I eased up. And as I listened to it again after the fact, and I was actually pleasantly surprised. It wasn't that bad. And I had a lot of people tell me that I did great, so hopefully, hopefully she'll have me back on again someday. Anyway, I love you, Marley, and thank you for putting up with me. All right, so anyway, let's see, on to what's next. Oh, well, I'm going to kind of go out of order today because my notes are just scribbled all over the page and they're kind of random. Sorry about tipping you, but I was moving my notes and kind of putting them in under my laptop. So we had a drawing last week on the show for a mystery skein giveaway. And here it is. You know what? See what this is what I'm talking about. I haven't drawn the winner yet. And the problem being with this recording the way I do, I'm using my Dell webcam, and all it has is a stop and start button. There's no pausing. There's no, I can't edit this right now. I could either stop it here and start all over, which I'm not going to do, or I could say we'll have the giveaway in a few seconds. I'll post a tiny little video after this one, and it'll be the announcement of the winner. Why don't we do it that way? Anyway, I'll show you what you're gonna win if you are the winner. So, I'm learning. I'm really wanting to get this down and start using iMovie possibly. I'm just glad you guys are putting up with me and actually watching. It's funny. I'm surprised that I've had so many viewers. But anyway, here's what I'm giving away to one winner from last week. It's Debbie Bliss Baby Cashmerino, and this is so soft. It's 50 grams and it's made in Italy. 55% merino wool, 33% microfiber, and 12% cashmere. And it's a beautiful, on screen it looks a little more white. The color doesn't give you the name, it just has a number. But to me it's kind of an eggshell, sort of, it's an off-white, so it's really pretty. And 50 grams, you could probably get a pair of fingerless mitts out of this. Some little short ones maybe. And that would be really soft and cozy. I don't know what else. But anyway, something to play with or mix and match with other yarns. And what I'll do is I will go through the comments from last week's episode, and I'll choose a winner, and I will upload another really short video right after this. So that's what we'll do, and I'll announce the winner. So anyway, that's that. Another announcement, I wanted to let you know I got together with my friend Lorna Miser a few days ago, and she's got some exciting new yarn coming out. An awesome announcement. She has just started dyeing again, and she was down in San Diego and she was doing a few classes at yarn shops, and she actually sold out of what she'd got dyed already. This is her new label, and she's doing it all herself. She's doing all the dyeing, and she's amazing. She gifted me this skein. It's so scrumptious. But the name of her yarns is Zombie Yarns Lorna Dyes Again. And if you didn't know this, Lorna Miser was the original founder of Lorna's Laces. So that's where she gets that she's dyeing again. But I mean, how cute is that? She came up with Zombie Yarns Lorna Dyes Again. I love it. That's so clever. So awesome and cute. And so this one, what she's doing is, most of these are going to be one of a kind, or she'll have kits. So I don't even know if you'll be able to get this very same color or texture again. She's doing a lot of just kind of one-offs. This one she called Lame Brain. But I love the color. It's got some like blues and grays and purples mixed together. It's kind of like, I call it grapple, like gray and purple mixed together, with this kind of like a excuse me, kind of like a silvery blue shade right here, and then it goes into these purpley gray tones. I really wish I had a better camera. But anyway, it's gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. You're doing a good job, Lorna. Thank you for this. I love it. I don't know if I want to use it. It's like my first zombie yarn. I want to save it. So anyway. So then on to some other projects I've got going. I received yarn in the mail from Willow Yarns to do another design for them. So this is the yarn, and it's a beautiful purple shade. So I'm going to be casting this on very soon. There we go. It's really not the same color as it appears on the screen. It's more of a, it's a warmer purple in real life. But anyway, I just can't wait to start using this and get that design done for them. So I think this is going to be a new design in their spring line for spring 2016. That will be my next project after I get our mystery knit along shawl done. Okay, what else have we got here? I wanted to share with you this coloring book that I got. My friend Kristen Omdahl, I don't know, I'm sure you've heard of her. She's a wonderful, talented lady, has so many beautiful designs, does a lot of crochet and knitting, but she just designed this Zen art coloring book, and this is available on her Etsy shop right now, so I'll link to that as well in the show notes. It's 30 original hand-drawn works by Kristen Omdahl, and I just can't wait to start coloring. Aren't those beautiful? Look at that. Here, I'll put it closer if you can see. There we go. And there she is. My beautiful, talented friend, Kristen. This is beautiful. I mean, look at that. Skulls, I love it. Day of the Dead. Butterflies, flowers. I was really into the Zen tangling for a while, so this is sort of along the lines of that. But I can't wait to color those in and get going on those. Let me look here. I'm just going to glance at my notes for a minute. And you know, I've started drinking bulletproof coffee again, so I'm going to take a sip. In my Yarn Over mug that I got at their last Anzula takeover in Fresno. But anyway, Yarn Over truck. I love them. And it's, can you see? I don't want to spill it on my laptop, but I've been doing coffee with coconut oil, and it's actually good. I like it. It gives me more energy. I've cut out sugar. I'm trying to stop eating sugar as much. So I've gone back to only using coconut oil in my coffee, and I mean, I don't like it any other way now. I put about 16 ounces of fresh brewed black coffee in a blender, and then I use a tablespoon of coconut oil and blend it together for a few seconds, and perfection. So that's bulletproof coffee. If you haven't heard of it, just, I mean, Google it and give it a try. You might like it. So let me look here. I did that. You know, as I was talking about Marley Bird, I was gonna mention that there's a guy that goes by the name of Knitting Daddy, and I meant to mention that. Let me pull up his website really quick here. He actually called in while I was talking to Marley Bird, on the podcast, and he's got his own website. He actually was the call-in winner of one of my pattern giveaways that I did, and I'm so happy he won because he's an amazing guy. He knits preemie caps for preemie babies because his daughter was one, and he's got an amazing story. It's knittingdaddy.com, and he's also Knitting Daddy on Instagram. So yeah, go check him out. He's got tons of projects that he's got listed on his website that he's knit. Super talented guy. And I don't want to give away his story, but I'll read the beginning here. It just says, "Howdy friends, welcome back to another episode." Oh, that's his work in progress roundup. Sorry, I thought maybe that was about him. Let me go to about him. Here it is. His name is Greg, and he learned to knit in June of 2012, a few weeks after his daughter Blueberry was born. That's what he calls her. Isn't that cute? Blueberry was born at 30 weeks, 2.5 months early. She was a tiny baby, 2.5 pounds, and as a result of her premature birth, she spent 5 weeks in the NICU before she was able to come home. You can read all about it in Knitting Daddy's post, My Knitting Origin Story. So please go check him out. He's awesome. Can you believe that? 2.5 pounds? She was 2.5 pounds. I can't even imagine. But I mean, just like how tiny she must have been. Just a miracle of God, seriously. So anyway, I'll link to his website in the show notes as well. And I'm so glad that you won one of my patterns, Greg. You deserved it. So let's see here. What else? Wanted to share about him, his blog. You know what? I was going to share with you last week, and I didn't get a chance because it completely slipped my mind. But, you know, I've been working on my mitered squares, and I've been, I'll show you those, my progress in a second. But I've been doing these little mini skein swaps with people. And so this is the ones I've just done recently. And this was actually, I used a Deborah Norville sock yarn. This was her Deborah Norville collection. The label's getting a little raggedy there, but this is the Serenity sock weight. And I love it. This one is 50% superwash merino, 25% bamboo, and 25% nylon. So I spent the day yesterday skeining these up. They're 5-gram minis that I do with my swap, and I send in 20 of these. And then in return, the other participants have also sent in 20 of each in different yarns. And so then in return, I get a bag of 20 different mini skeins back. So I'm able to add those to my sock yarn blanket, my little cozy memories blanket or scrappy happy blanket. You know, I'm not really sure exactly. There's lots of names for this, but this is the most recent one that I added. And you know what? I forgot to grab the label for this, but I think it's the gingerbread colorway, and I don't remember for sure which yarn company this was. So I will link that in the show notes as well, in case you like that colorway. I think it was called Gingerbread, and I'll find out who the dyer is, and I'll post that in the show notes for you. But that was my most recent mini skein that I just added into my, or mini mitered square that I added into my blanket. And so here it is so far. I'll show you all the ones I've got in progress. or done so far, sorry. Words. I need to learn my words. There's the cute one I did for the 4th of July. So it's really nice to go back and remember where each of these came from. This was Happy Fuzzy Yarns. The purple was. I love their yarn too. I got that mini skein from her at TNNA. But anyway, where I was going with that, with me doing all these little mini skeins, my daughter said, I want to help. So, you know, I wasn't really sure about letting her jump in and help me with the skeins that I'll be using in my swap, but I did let her use some of my other yarn that I've got stashed away. I had, you know, I've got tons of Red Heart, and I designed for them as well. So I've got so much Red Heart yarn laying around that I told my daughter, I said, here, practice with this. And she has come up with some pretty cool color schemes herself, because what she's doing is taking a couple of different colors of the Red Heart yarn, and she did these all by herself. She did, I mean, I may have to let her help me with my mini skeins. She did this. She did this. Green and black. These are the colors that she wanted to put together. And she did all the twisting and everything. Isn't that cool? She could end up being her own little yarn dyer with some of her combinations she's come up with. I think it's awesome. Look at this, the purple, I mean the pink and the yellow. I love pink and yellow together. And then this one, just crazy wild. It reminds me of, I don't know, candy or something. And this may have been one of her first, because it's a little bit it's a little bit off, but you know, she's getting there. But look at those colors she decided to put together. Isn't that fun? I thought it was. I thought that was really cool that she wanted to do that, and she's doing pretty good. So, hang on a second. Once again, I'm gonna put you on hold while I look up a website. Let's see here. No, you know what? Oh, I know where it is. Sorry. I've got to log into my Facebook account and see if I can find what I was going to read to you really quick. There it is. Okay. So, in one of my previous episodes, I was wearing this cowl, and I don't know if you remember this, but I'm actually gonna be publishing this pattern on Ravelry very soon, and I think I'm gonna name it Haley's Hug. Actually, in memory of our little neighbor girl who passed away last year, and this is this month will actually mark the 1-year date from when she passed away. She had cancer. So, you know, what better way to remember her than to feel this, you know, this really soft, scrumptious, heavenly hug. And even the color. This is a natural alpaca color. And I got this yarn from an alpaca farm in Oklahoma. And it was Pacas and Piers. So let me pull this up on Facebook, because I've been in touch with the owner. And his name is Michael Alpert. And he raises Surrey alpacas. So here's some additional information that he wanted me to add. This is grade 1. The yarn is grade 1, sub 20 microns. It's 100% Surrey alpaca, and it's undyed white. So all of their yarns are natural colors, and most are 100% Surrey alpaca, or alpaca blended with silk. So they also now have some darker colors. They have fawn, brown, black, and gray. So I'm going to link to them in the show notes as well, because they do sell their yarns online. Let's see. Yeah, I think that was all the information about the yarn that Michael wanted me to add. But it's gorgeous. I've got another skein here that I could show you. This is what it looks like. The one that I'm wearing came like this. And I do believe that this was just a one skein project. One skein wonder, isn't that what they call them, I think? But look at that. Oh, the fiber, it's just, oh, so yummy, so soft. You know, alpaca is one of my favorite fibers. They are actually one of my favorite animals. I wish I could have an alpaca farm myself. I think I would be so happy to just live out in the country and raise alpacas and spin their wool and make yarn. It's just so yummy. Thank you, Michael. Hopefully I can get you some visitors to your website, and maybe even some visitors to your farm. If you live in Oklahoma, you might want to look them up, because that's what I did while I was visiting my dad last year. I just looked for alpaca farms to go visit, and there he was, very close to where my dad lives. I mean, it was just literally a couple of miles from my dad's property. So what did I do? I dragged my dad to the alpaca farm, and Michael was so sweet, and he let us come in and right in there with the alpacas. So you know what? I'm going to post some pictures on the blog of myself with the alpacas from the farm, and just share with you some of the fun times we had. I went a couple of times. I went back with my mom a few days later before I left Oklahoma. I had to go for another visit, and I know the next time I go to Oklahoma, you'll be hearing from me, Michael, because I want to come see your babies again. They're adorable. So once again, I hope to get this. I'm going to try to get this listed this week, and it's going to be titled Haley's Hug. So just look for that on Ravelry, okay? So anyway, let me look at my notes one more time. Oh, and you know, I did go and buy a mannequin, a dress form, recently. I got it at this great little shop called Not Too Shabby. They have vintage, new, home and garden. It's like a little antique shop. There's one right here by our house, and then there's another one not too far from here, just a few miles away. And I actually got my dress form at the other one, the one on Branham, or not Branham, it's on Bascom Avenue. It's on Bascom Avenue is the one where I went. So they have amazing finds, and I wanted something that had kind of a rustic feel. You know, I had actually bought a dress form at Joann's recently when they had their 50% off on dress forms, and I got home with it, and I wasn't happy with it. The modern stuff just isn't, I mean, not anything against you, the shop Joann's, but you know, modern stuff just isn't made the way it used to be. And this dress form that I got at Joann's, all the pieces were plastic, the dials were plastic, the stand, it looked like it was kind of wobbly. So I thought, you know, I'm taking it back. Even though I got 50% off when I bought it, I decided to go for the vintage store, go to the vintage store and see what they had to offer, and I found my beautiful mannequin, and I'm naming her Maggie. Actually, Maggie is another friend of mine that she also passed away in 2011 from cancer, so I'm just kind of, I'm just remembering people lately. So I'm remembering Haley with my cowl and naming my dress for Maggie after Maggie May. She was a great girl. So anyway, enough of that. I think we're about done. Let me look and see if I had anything else on the notes here. Talked about that and that. Yep, got that. Okay, and I guess that leaves us with one more thing to talk about, and that's what is our prize going to be this week. And I've been thinking about doing, I dropped one, but anyway, I've been thinking about giving away a few little mini skeins. So what I'm going to do is, if any of you out there are also doing the sock yarn blanket, the Cozy Memories blanket, I am going to, I think I have just enough of these that I'm going to actually give away these 5 little mini skeins to a winner this week. And if I come up with a few more, I may add those in as well. But if you're doing the Cozy Memories blanket, you might want to enter the contest, and these could be yours. These are actually, this one is Anzula. These are Anzula. This is the same one in the mauve as what I'm doing our mystery knit along in. Here's another Anzula. And then one of the Deborah Norville. And then this one is a Lorna's Laces. So I'm going to add one of each of those into the giveaway this week. And I do think I have a couple of other little mini skeins that I can throw in with it. So don't quote me on this, but you may get up to 10 mini skeins. And those are good for your hexapuffs, is that what they're called? The hexapuffs, the barn raising quilt, the mitered squares, perfect for any of those. So all you have to do is leave a comment, either here on YouTube or in the show notes post on my blog, and you'll be entered to win. And I'll choose one lucky winner from those entries, and I'll announce the winner next week. And as I said, last week's winner will be mentioned in another episode, not really an episode, but just a little brief video that I'm gonna post right after this, and I'll announce the winner from last week for the Debbie Bliss Baby Cashmerino. Alright? So anyway, guys, thanks for joining me again. I can't believe we've made it through 10 episodes already, and I hope to have my friend Patricia on again. I don't know if she'll make it into my next episode, but that's a possibility. Excuse me. I almost made it through without coughing, but I think I felt a little hair in my throat. I also want to have Lorna on, Lorna Miser. I want to have her on soon, and I think I may go take a little road trip to visit her once she gets some more of her yarns dyed up, so that we can have her share more about her zombie yarns. So hopefully that'll be in an upcoming episode as well. But until next week, have a great weekend, and I hope to get this posted later this evening, and I'll see you next time. Alright guys, I love you. Happy knitting.